Hey everybody, I hope you guys are all doing okay and welcome back to our 100% playthrough here in Might and Magic VIII. So last episode we got some important stuff done, but we didn't really do any exploration or any quests. We are going to rectify that situation in this episode. We are going to be exploring the city of Alvar, which is, the next logical place to go to after you're done with Ravenshore. Well, we're not fully done with Ravenshore, but we've done most of what we need so far, although we are going to quickly hop back to Ravenshore, because it occurs to me that we still haven't advanced the main quest. We need to just talk to Felmoon and see what he has to say. And what he has to say is that the boats are useful. He is then also sending us to Alvar, which is further evidence that Alvar is indeed the next destination. But before we do that, we are going to quickly check in with the seer, because we don't have a quest open right now. I think we might have to talk to Felmoon again to activate that quest. But before we do that, let's just talk to the seer to see what he has to say. To see whether he has any new lines for us. And, well, I guess the seer is now preempting what Felmoon would have told us, because Felmoon hasn't given us any specific names just yet, because we haven't even been given the quest yet, but the seer is now on that stage of his dialogue. I will say one more thing about why I'm getting all these seer dialogues, why I'm choosing to have that as an objective. But just as soon as I quickly talk to Felmoon again, and then quickly rush back to the seer, because I just want to make sure I'm not missing out on any bits of dialogue. Now he is telling us what the seer told us, to go to Bastion Ludren, however you would pronounce that. And he tells us how to get to Alvar, but of course we've already we are already well acquainted with Alvar and how to get there. We've been town portaling there for quite a while now, so thanks for, it's the thought that counts. Just being friendly, giving us directions. And I suspect there isn't going to be any new line, no, because the seer was already a little bit ahead. So now the seer note has caught up. So far, the seer's notes are logically following from one to another. The first one tells us to go to Dedros. The second one tells us to take the letter that Dedros gives us to Felmoon. Third one tells us to take the letter that Felmoon gives us to Arion Hunter, and then go back to Felmoon. So a whole bunch of stages are being taken care of in this one note, which is probably why we didn't get any new notes, even though I kept going back to the seer for a while. And then the next one is telling us to go to Bastion Ludren. We won't go to Bastion just yet, but we'll go everywhere else in Alvar. But yes, there is one thing I want to say about the seer notes. So when I was playing Might and Magic VI, and again when I was playing Might and Magic VII, this again is a mechanic in those games as well. You can go to the seer to get hints, and those hints will get put in your journal, But I chose not to do that in Might and Magic 6 and Might and Magic 7, despite both of them being completionist runs on their own. And the reason is I made a judgment call. It's because in both Might and Magic 6 and Might and Magic 7, there is a twist that happens in the plot. And I'm going to spoil what that twist is, so if you don't know what it is, if you haven't played those games, now is your chance to back out of this video and either play them yourselves, or to watch a playthrough, or something like that. But yes, 3, 2, 1, spoilers incoming. In both Might and Magic 6 and Might and Magic 7, the twist is that what appears at first glance to be a fantasy world is revealed later on to also have high-tech elements, including, blaster weapons and space travel and supercomputers and stuff like that. And if you keep getting seer hints, eventually those seer hints will basically be spoiling things that would be better experienced through you investigating yourself. Like, just in the names of, places that the seer tells you to go to, like items that he tells you to get, like control cube, things like that, he will basically spoil the big twist. So that's why I didn't do it for Might and Magic 6 and Might and Magic 7. But for Might and Magic 8, I'm not going to spoil anything about the plot, except to say that it doesn't have any twist like that. It does have its own twists, yes, but I don't think the seer notes will... Hey, there's a barrel that we just left behind. And just yoink that. I don't think the seer notes will cause any major spoilers to that end. Like, they will be minor spoilers, because occasionally the seer's lines will be a little bit ahead of the quest stage, and they might mention a name that we shouldn't have heard of yet, or a place that we shouldn't, have any reason to think is significant. But nothing to the scale of revealing that, there are spaceships or stuff like that. So, it's subjective, but I made the decision that in this case, the seer hints are fair game. That they aren't going to ruin, the twists for anyone who is actually following the story. Because I do want this to be an immersive story kind of playthrough as well, in addition to everything else. Okay, that was very long-winded, but I felt, excuse me, I felt like I should address that, because I am doing that part of the game a little bit differently than I did in the previous games, so, it felt that I should explain why. Now that we're done with that, let's go to Alvar. So, the merchant house, which we are going to avoid for now, because that's going to be where the quest will advance, is up here. So we're going to leave this building alone, but we will go everywhere else. We have been to a couple places already, like the Blackthorn Estate, which is where we were given the quest to rescue Saori Blackthorn, and this is also where you would go if you did you gain experience from that? I don't know, but okay, now everyone else has also gotten the Saori Blackthorn thing in their character sheet, including the people who weren't initially in the party, including Saori Blackthorn herself, which is hilarious because she is now being given credit for rescuing herself. Like, it's silly that way, but really what this means is this line here would basically enable the flag that if your party member was a Dark Elf, they are now promoted. And yes, it's kind of funny because it's her name, it's like like she's the one who we rescued, so it's a bit silly that way, but really it's there for that reason. And it also seems like got some experience out of that, I think. Let me confirm that, because we have our autosave. So, actually no, I don't know if we got any experience, because it seems that people are already able to train up, probably from the experience that we got from advancing the quest phase. But let's confirm anyway. I do like, you know, testing out little things like this, just to see how the quests in this game were kind of built. So 113, 535, and still 113, 5. So we didn't gain experience, we just got an extra thing added to our character sheets, which I guess is fine. This is where we get one of the most interesting quests in the game. And I'm actually going to talk to this guy and look at all his dialogue options. I won't do this for most people, but this guy is really interesting. First of all, before we even talk to him, let's look at his name. Asael Fromajo. Already a hint about what kind of a person he is and what kinds of things he's into. But let's talk to him about his life. Even as a lad, he had a special relationship with cheese. His first memory is of nibbling a bit of farmer's cheddar from his mother's hand. Wow. What a lad. From that day on, it was his passion to eat cheese and to know all the endless variety of cheeses, and to search the world for rare and exotic cheese stuff. It is his life and destiny. Well, I mean, like lots of us, me included, we go through life not really knowing what our purpose is. And I guess this guy is lucky in that he knows, right? Like there is one thing and one thing only that matters to him, and that thing is cheese. And I think there's something that we can all respect in that, you know? It's like he knows what he wants. So I tip my hat to you, Mr. Fromajo. Let's talk to him about the VIII Cheese Masters. There are no more people dedicated to cheesecraft, no people more dedicated to cheesecraft than the august, the great adjective, cheese masters of VIII, otherwise known to be rather barbaric. The VIII frost giants are true emblems of the potential of civilized development, at least as far as cheese making is concerned. Alright, well, I mean, fair point. And then he tells us that they have 42 different words for cheese. So it seems like he and the VIII can relate to each other on that. And then he also has a quest for us. He says he has traveled to these lands to catalog its array of different available cheeses. And he's nearly done, but there are 3 that he hasn't found yet. The Frelandeau, the Eldenbrie, and the Dun Duck. And he'll reward us highly if we bring these 3 back to him. We'll talk more about that quest later. For now, let's just, you know, I love this guy so much, like, and so just conceptually a great quest. Like in RPGs, like quests all fall into the same types. Like you have your escort quest, you know, like your fetch quests, like your kill a certain thing quest. So like in that sense, all quests in the same category are the same thing. But what makes them feel special is the way that the game gives context to them, and what could have been like a boring, bland fetch quest, like, oh, bring these 3 things back to me, is just made so interesting due to the way that the game presents it to you. And so that's just wanted to talk a little bit about that, because I really do love this quest. Everything about it. Alright. Now let me just save my game. Let's go on. Like every time we talk to a trainer, they will get marked on the map. Alright, you are just giving us some flavor dialogue. Well, this is kind of foreshadowing stuff that we're gonna have to deal with, because the clerics and the necromancers are at war, and we've already kind of met the clerics because we've been to Murmur Woods. We will meet the necromancers later. The dragons and the dragon hunters are also at war, and again, we've kind of met the dragons, kind of met the dragon hunters, although we haven't really talked to them. That's another thing we'll have to worry about. And the minotaurs are kind of just chilling in Balthazar lair in Ravage Roaming. Apparently they defeated the Vori Frost Giants, which is, I guess, a cool thing for them to have
I have no idea.
done. What's the time?
I have no idea.
We've got some
We carry only the finest.
stuff to identify. Oh, thunderbolts, very good. Alright, so you can hold on to this. And like we'll just sell the rest of this garbage.
We carry only the finest.
And even this. Alright. What's that? Arcane items.
Rarities from across the land.
I'm just gonna sell wands because I don't really want to bother with them. Brass charm, gold ring, amethyst ring,
I have
off,
no idea
off
what
magic,
that
only spell points, kinda useless. Fireball, don't really need it. Stone ring, ID monster is garbage. Alchemy, I'll hold on to it, even though we're probably not going to use it, and the rest I'm just going to sell. Telekinesis I'll hold on to. I know I could be enchanting some of these to get even more money, but really, money isn't a thing we're going to have to worry about. Yeah, we don't really need that.
Business was a pleasure.
Right, anything else? Anything else? No, our stat boosting items are all here. Okay. Okay. We've seen the training hall and the tavern, the coach. I think this is a recruitable NPC. We don't really... Like, we already have a dark elf. You have some flavor dialogue for us. Another person we could join, or like, who could join us. A lot of recruitables, it seems. A teacher that we don't need. Can you... No. The Bounty Hunters Guild. Another teacher. Another teacher. Alright. We're getting through this pretty quick. Ooh, this is good because now you're slightly better, and in fact... Where was the master? In the Dagger Wound Islands. Alright, we are going to go see that. Oh, and this is a new skill trainer that we haven't found yet, Dark Magic. So we've gotten not just him, but these two Master and Grandmaster trainers in our in our journal, and this is good because we can become experts in perception. Fantastic. All kinds of little bits of progress being made. Alright, let's keep on going. Grandmaster Dark Elf, which you already are. Moor Cottage. I think we can become expert in shield, yes. Dervish. Not really a thing we need. Eversmile. Master Chain. Vespers. Okay, this is good. Expert Dagger is fantastic. Grandmaster Bow, which you already are. Spear, which we don't need. I think we've hit everybody in here. This is not part of the town. This is the Dark Dwarf compound. We're not going to go inside, because right now we are limited to the Alvar exterior. One thing that I do want to do, though, is I want to go to Ravenshore quickly, because I know for a fact that, well, I guess we should go to our trainers. The Master Dagger is in Ravenshore. Jobber. Now we just have to find the person on the map. Oh, right there. I genuinely didn't know, but it just happened to be the first one I clicked on. So what was it? It was this one? Jobber, right? Spending a bit of money, but we have a lot of money to spend, so we might as well. And you know what? Let's even be prepared to become Grandmasters, and let's be prepared to become Masters in Leather. We'll have to figure out something else to do with all these skill points. I'll probably just put them into Dagger, to be honest. But one important thing is now we can dual wield daggers, which is going to be a big damage boost, especially with this elemental damage being added on, which is great. And the next thing I wanted to do was Dagger Wound. To find the Master... once again, through sheer luck, or is... what, like... did I have some vestigial memory just lurking in the back of my brain that somehow guided my hand to find both of these trainers on the first attempt? Or is it just luck? I'm leaning towards dumb luck myself, because I would not trust my memory. You know, I really wouldn't. I forget things all the time. So, I mean, like, it's good that we got it done pretty quickly.
How may we serve? Walk ahead.
Like, I genuinely didn't look it up ahead of time. So I am glad that we didn't have to spend too much time struggling to find those trainers. And there are some houses on the other side of this river. Let's not neglect them, although most of them are going to be people who can... well, one of them gives us a quest, which is... we'll work on that. And yeah, but most of them are going to be people who will make stuff out of ore. This person will pay 500 gold for wasp stingers. We'll see later on where we can find wasps. And this person will pay similarly for ogre ears. He doesn't say how much. I think maybe it's 1,000 or like 750 or something. He also gives us a quest to kill all the ogres in Alvar, plus the ones inside the fortress. So similar to the direwolves, this is another extermination quest. And this one has some information about the Ogre Raiders. This one has more information about the Wasps. Alright, we've looked at those. And now I think it's time to start embarking on said extermination. Start with a good old-fashioned Day of the Gods. And some Hour of Power action as soon as you're ready. I think this is the the House of Healing. Come on. Took a lot of your mana, but what we can do is immediately just spend 30 gold to get it all back. The reason everyone seemed damaged is because the big boost from Day of the Gods, the big endurance boost, was giving them a lot of extra health. Alright, now let's just start methodically going through and murdering everything we find. Haste is lasting about 4 hours, which is good. Already we have some combat. And occasionally when we kill one of them, you'll see an ear drop, which is kind of disgusting, I know.
Too easy.
But it's just and it's a bit unsettling that their ears are just falling out without even us having to actually cut them. But that's the thing. Oh, I don't want to pick up garbage stuff. I will pick up the ears because they're small and we get a good amount of money for them. Oh, and steaming cauldron.
I have no idea.
That's the, okay. That's a different piece of garbage. All right. Who, like, we all? Oh, you didn't get the fire resistance buff from Garrote Gorge. So next time we're there, you need to drink from that well. But for now, I'll just give it to myself, honestly. Because I think Day of Protection will boost our resistances, and like in the long run, like it doesn't matter if you have an extra +2 or +5 or +10. It's your big magical buffs that you cast, which is where your stats will be coming from. Alright. Alright, let's keep on going. I saw another ear drop. Alright. And now, how do we want to do this? I think we want to go along the road for a while now. Yeah, we want to go along the road because there are going to be ogres there. Alright, let's...
That was easy.
Another ear. Well, no, I want... I'll hold on to all of them. Yeah, you got a bone, you've got ears. Like, what are you... Well, like, what am I doing? That's very, very morbid looking inventory, I must say.
It should have fled.
Alright. Okay, another one. Wonder how many we'll have by the end of this. Alright. Going. Like, we are doing very, very good damage. Yeah. These guys are no challenge at all. And... oof, that was kind of bad. Our flight expired. I guess... Do I have Featherfall? I guess it's my own fault. I should have cast Featherfall, and there was no reason not to. Anyway, now we are back at this place, and just as a reminder, one of the hidden chests was in the back here, and then this very weird spot. And ordinarily, like, you'd jump inside here, and then you'd get out by walking a bit, and then it'll teleport you out because the game is nice. It won't let you just be stuck there permanently. We don't need that anymore because we can just fly in and out. But that's how you would get in or out if you did not have flight. Alright. Any more ears? Not that I'm seeing. Let's continue. Another group.
That was easy.
Another ear. And this was an empty cauldron. What a waste. And we have another group of houses.
I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that is.
Just checking the scrolls just to make sure none of them are message scrolls. And here are more NPCs who can, if we come to them with ore, they can make different things out of them. We will see more about how that works later on in the game. And this guy we've already talked to. He's the guy who we sold our Taubersk pulp to. Right, before we go there, let's just make sure there's nobody in this corner of the map. There isn't, but just to be thorough, let's just pop up a little bit. Alright, seems clear. Alright, let's keep on going. We've already cleared out a good chunk of the map. And let's go up. We'll keep flying until we see more red dots. I'm sure we will eventually. In fact, I see things on the ground. These are wasps, I think. The other enemy type. Very sophisticated wasps, because they are carrying metal shields and weapons. And they will also drop wasp stingers. And seem to be dropping them quite often. Alright, let me actually just heal myself because it's getting a little bit dicey. I think both of these two have regeneration, which is why they've slowly been getting their health back.
That was easy.
The reason I'm on the ground and not flying while fighting them is because because I think it makes the enemies a bit more manageable. It does complicate the combat a little bit when you have a whole extra dimension to worry about. Especially because these guys start on the ground as well, so they kind of just... They dart towards you because they are flying enemies. I mean, they'll move a bit quicker, but they will be easier to deal with, at least I think. Oh, scrolls of jump, a bit of a hint. We'll hold... sorry, we can hold on to them. We might make use of them.
Worthless. Leave it. Leave it.
They are meant to be used in one specific dungeon. And if we are thinking of it in terms of this game's... These guys are flying down at us. So we gotta wait a bit for them to come down. And in terms of the game's environmental storytelling, the clear implication is that some group of adventurers brought
Worthless. Leave
these
it.
scrolls with them,
Leave it. Worthless.
but then got assaulted by these wasps and didn't get a chance to use them. Now, what would they have used?
Worthless.
This... Oh, that's a different spell,
Leave
but the
it.
same color as these jump scrolls.
Leave it.
And what would they have used
Leave
this
it.
large number of jump
Leave it.
scrolls for?
Worthless.
That's something we'll probably find out in the next episode, I think, because I think we've... By the time we're done with the exterior, I think we'll have gone on long enough. Alright. Any stingers for us? Hard to see. I don't think so. More dots.
Got one.
Or ooh, who hit me? Who did it?
Got one.
All right. We're making good progress getting through these. Oh, but I messed up badly because I let haste expire, which meant that everyone is now weak, which is kind of terrible. Okay, so before I do anything else, I'm gonna let me fix this. Oh my god, oh my god. Let me just get to relative safety. Alright, now I am going to have to cast Cure Weakness 4 times. And then cast Hour of Power again. Okay, yep. Annoying, I know, but that's what happens. And that's the other reason why I want really high light magic. Just so that... we don't have to worry about having to deal with this that often. Right, now we can go back to fighting these insect enemies.
That was easy.
Too easy.
Alright.
It should have fled.
I saw another stinger drop. Oh, who's
That
there?
was weak.
Oh, where was that stinger? I see it. It's there. Let us also heal myself. Alright, I think we're almost done. I think there's just one part of the map that really remains. I'll go all the way into this corner just to get it explored, but there's obviously nothing there. And in fact, it was already explored. It's just that the dark blue of the water there was kind of looking like the black fog of war. It's something that happens to me a lot in real life. I often struggle, if the light isn't great, to tell the difference between navy blue and black. Alright, that's... I don't think any of these dropped stingers, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Oh, and there's more of them. Hello. Yeah, oh, I guess it makes sense that they are congregating here, like all these flowers. Alright, let's...
That was easy.
Whoa.
That was easy. Ow!
Easy. We'll come back for the stingers in a bit, but I think a couple of them are trying to run away. No, my friend, you do not get to run away. Alright, now I think got a couple stingers to pick up, and I think I hear more enemies. Yeah, there's a few more of them. A couple more.
It should have fled.
Alright. Now I think we're done. Okay, I think we are done with all the exterior enemies on the Alvar map. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to town. How many levels can you gain out of curiosity? Just one so far, but close to gaining one more. Alright. It's not too bad. So what we'll do is we will go to that part of town across the river. We're gonna sell all of our stingers and ogre ears. Get a tidy a bit of money for that. And then we will wrap up this episode. How does that sound? Not you. Not you. Here we go. Oh. So we sold a bunch of stingers to him. 500 gold. Alright, that's decent, I guess. Right, let me just do one thing. I'll save here. What does this well do? Nothing, evidently. Alright, let's not worry about it. And yeah, now let's go back to
What can we do for
the House of Healing. We'll do this.
you? Go with our blessings.
And haste is active for a couple more hours. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna you know what? I think I do want to train first. Even if it's just one level. We are already too late. We'll go and spend a night in
Welcome. A quiet room, you say?
the inn, and then I'm going to train only myself by one level,
Practice session just started. Excellent.
and that will give me enough to put one more point into light magic. Each point we put is great because that's a better duration on our haste. That's better bonuses out of Hour of Power. That's more stat points out of Day of the Gods. So all of these are just great reasons to keep boosting all of that. And I generally take it all the way up to 30, and that's where I stop. But it's not just the 30. I then also look for items that boost light magic. So really it ends up being more like an effective skill level of 45 for me by the end of it all, which is a lot, but you know what? Yeah, that just makes it even better. Alright, I think that is going to be all for this episode. Let's recap what we did. We advanced the main quest by one more tick. Then we came to Alvar. We walked around, spoke to everyone, got some skills leveled up, which was really nice. This is great because our recovery penalty was eliminated, so that's good. This was great because now we can dual wield daggers. Fantastic. And in fact, because it's all the way to master, we can occasionally do triple damage. Mastery and identification is great because we won't have to keep running to shops every time we need to identify items. For a lot of them, for some high level items, we'll still have to do that. But eventually you will be a Grandmaster in ID item, so, you know, we're getting there. And then we ran around the map, killing everything. We killed all the ogres. We killed all the wasps that were on the exterior anyway. And now, next episode, what we're gonna do is we'll go into the Ogre Fortress. There's not just the ogres to kill there, but also a quest, and the wasp's nest, the hive. That's somewhere around there. I don't think there's a quest that leads you there, so that's probably going to be our first truly optional dungeon, I think. But yes, we're going to be doing probably both of them in the next episode. But yes, for now, it is time to call things to a close, and you know, I just wanted to say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're having a good time, and if you are, you know, you may want to consider leaving a like on the episode if you indeed like it enough to warrant that. And if you're enjoying the series and if you want to follow along, you may want to consider subscribing. But in either case, I do hope that I will continue to see you in the upcoming episodes. And until then, take care.